Can you hear? Yeah.
You're good? All right.
We're back. We had a great convo.
Because
Off
sometimes
camera.
you can hear it through the mic.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna hop right back into it. So continue, please.
Yeah, so as far as like my marketing and things, I feel like even when it comes to like these bigger franchises, I don't really compare myself to them because
Right.
I don't have the funding that they have.
Right.
I do a lot of things on my own. So it got to the point where I was like, damn, I'm exhausting my bank account trying to keep this business open because I want it that bad.
And still,
And still.
yeah.
And still do that. So when it comes back to the control, like you were saying, yeah, I gotta have control over me and my business because this is what I built. And for someone to come in and just take it away, it'd be like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Like it'd all hella wrig loose.
Yeah.
Contracts are super important
So-
in business.
But
I always
does it
say
really
this shit.
work with
Hell
the
yeah,
contracts?
yo, that shit fucking works.
So
Hell
so
yeah.
there's like a two. I feel like it's both sides. I feel like if you develop a good culture, then the expectation is that your people are going to stay and they're going to respect you or whatever. But there's always going to be like
People change.
so you have a contract, right? We had a contract, right? We had a contract with Jess. Is it worth going to the attorney? Is it worth the time that's taken away from your business? Is it worth the investment on paying someone $400 an hour to take someone to trial for $20,000? Is it? Are you going to spend more?
You're gonna spend more.
Do you know what I'm saying? So yes, I understand.
But this
your
is
outlook
when
on contracts.
this is okay. We have the contract, but now when you do things, you also they're learning lessons. Like okay, we did a contract, and if you don't complete whatever, you need to pay us this, and if we go to court, it's gonna cost us this much. So at the end of the day, now in the new contract that I want, it's like plus lawyer fees.
Yeah.
So no,
Just in case something
we
happened.
got smart, right? We learned from our mistakes, and so now we break it down into phases, and you pay up front, and so we're not.
So
going through
mistakes
this
are
bullshit
lessons.
anymore, for
Let me just
sure.
say, anything bad that
Yeah.
happens to your business is just a lesson.
It's a
It's
lesson.
nothing bad, even if it costs you $10,000-$20,000, because later when you're a millionaire, it's gonna be cheap that you pay $20,000 for that lesson. That's cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what we take it as.
It's
Anything that happens
it's
to us.
definitely a lesson.
So
Yeah.
let's introduce your business.
Okay, so it's Wax Away Spa. So there we do, of course, body waxing. We do brows. We get into the faciations.
Okay.
But it's all about body care.
Okay.
You know there. And
Where is it?
It's in Union, New Jersey.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys by body care you mean just waxing?
We just do just waxing. We
Okay.
don't get into
Like the massages
We, no.
and- okay,
Mm-mm.
okay.
I mean that was a big thing.
Yeah.
A big thing. We don't have massage license.
The
So
licensing.
so I stick to what I
Waxing.
know where I'm not going to get in trouble for.
Yeah.
But
Right, right.
everything I have a license for. We're
Okay.
both
Dope,
licensed. I take so many different certification classes because I want to grow. I don't want to stick to just waxing.
Right.
I want to put people there to
Right.
do it because it's a need.
Yeah.
You know, I have a consistent clientele base. So for that, I want to move on to other things. I am licensed in laser hair removal, but the state
It does not. I
doesn't
State of New Jersey is a pain in the
know.
ass.
I
Because
know.
we were trying to open up a laser removal spot here.
It
and
needs
you
to
need
be under like a medical director.
like a medical, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I want
Or
to
we could go to Staten Island and go to
Yeah.
New York
You know what I
and,
mean?
and
Yeah.
open it
that
up
just
right there in
didn't-
Staten Island.
You can do it. Well, only
can do it in
in
New
PA
York.
and in New York.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you don't have to actually have. You just got to have some. You can own it.
Yeah.
But you got to have
an
the
MD,
director.
a
in
medical
there.
director in there.
So it's hard. It's hard for New Jersey. New Jersey gives. Cause I even thought about going back to school, getting my RN license,
Yeah.
just so that I can do certain things that
Yeah.
I want to do
Yeah.
that they won't allow us to
Yeah.
do. You know, but when it comes to, right now, I'm doing what I love.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm just doing.
And
what
how
I
long?
love.
Can you let us know how long you've been waxing for?
In the industry, as far as waxing, for over 10 years. I've owned my own business. This is going to be the 4th year.
How'd you get into that?
So actually, it was crazy because I had went to my best friend. She had said, "Let's go get a wax," and I was like, "I'm not getting that. Why would I pay this money to
How
go
old
get
are
me
you?
a wax?" I was probably about 19.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm not doing that. Why would I want to do that? Because I heard it hurt. And it's this young lady, and I believe she was from Panama or something. She had a salon, and it was so cute. I was like, this is so nice.
It inspired you, right?
And yeah, because it was the experience.
Right, it was the experience.
Gave me the experience. She was nice. She was talking to me. You know, she told me, I knew her whole life by the time we left out of there.
Yeah.
So and then I went there on a Groupon. But then the next time I was like, oh, fuck this Groupon. I'm going to go
don't
back to
care,
her.
yeah.
So then she asked me, she wanted to franchise her business.
Yeah.
And she asked me, did I want to, I already had a license because we knew about each other.
Right.
Because we had a conversation in a short span time. And I ended up working under her.
Okay.
I always had the management skills because I've worked for like bigger companies, always managing. So then I always said, I'm open me a spa. I'm going to have me something. I'm going to have me
That's
something.
awesome.
And then once she had someone opening in Florida already. And to franchise throughout, the States.
Of course, yeah.
But I didn't have the money.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have the money. She wanted $20,000. So
Yeah.
I was like, I can give her $20,000. I can hustle this money and I can do my own thing.
Yeah.
So I did start off in suites.
Yeah.
Doing that, and I invested that much money and more into it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think me just going into more of a storefront, I know I can do it. I just be scared because I'm by myself.
Don't be
Like I
scared.
don't have
Don't be scared,
because
partner.
that will expand your business model. Do you know what I'm saying?
So now-
it'll absolutely change.
So now things that you got to keep in mind is like how you built your business structure. Like for example, if you know that, let's say this spot, we're making a certain amount of money with how many stations that we have, how many people we have employed. All we need to do is replicate and find another location that's the same size in different places. Instead of getting a bigger place, a smaller place, a tiny place, you know what I'm saying? So you can keep sort of the same like revenue. But there are companies that'll take care of franchising your business where you don't have to worry about that. All you have to do is do your business, have your numbers ready and all that, and be like, okay, I'm ready to franchise this stuff. And then you give them your business ideas, your business plan, and they're like,
everything
okay,
together.
they
They
put
can
everything
help you
together,
find
and
people.
they'll help you find places,
But prior to
locations,
that-
and all that.
Prior to that, it's important that you get into a storefront for yourself.
It is important, and that's my next goal.
The gratification that you get from that is different. You know what I mean? Because
Definitely.
we had a suite. We kind of
Yeah.
like that, but it was
Started
like our
off,
own little
yeah.
our own little thing, and to see the growth from being in that smaller space to now allowing the energy, like more energy to fill your space, is it changed our lives. You know what I mean?
And we work
Look,
with energy a lot.
I had
Yeah.
I had a complete. It took us 18 months to open this location. I had quit my job. I made more money. You know what I mean? So for me, like I was the primary. I needed to make sure that my rent was paid. He's a hustler. He was going to make it happen anyway. But it's easier when I know that check is in the bank and I don't got to worry about the hustle.
Right.
So when he was like, I need you to like focus on this and leave your job, and I actually did it, and this took 18 months, I sat in that corner right there and I had a complete mental breakdown, like hyperventilating. I didn't know what to do. They had just pushed back. We failed inspections 12 times here. Like it really tested
and
you.
it's gonna be fine.
And I'm like,
Don't worry about it.
And
See, that's the thing. I always try to tell myself, okay, yeah, it's gonna. I take on more than what I can handle.
Facts.
That's what it is. I do take on a lot, and I feel like, okay, well, I can't fail because I don't want no one saying, oh, she didn't do it.
And I think that's that entrepreneur mentality that I'm gonna do it and fuck it, I'll figure it out. my
I'll
way
figure
down.
it out
Entrepreneurs
later.
can be psychopaths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we're crazy.
Yeah, definitely try to figure out. Like, oh, I'll figure it out later. Or sometimes I be like, damn, I'm gonna pay this.
We didn't have an artist. He was paying everything. We didn't have an artist full time
Yo.
for like 8 months.
I was
It was just him.
I was just there paying everything.
Wow.
So I had
All
to sit
that
there
space
7 days
and
a
just
week.
him.
Still,
Do you know what I'm saying?
That was
And then slowly your output starts to really feel that energy, and people are like, "Oh, what you got going on over there? Oh, there's room. Oh, you got room? Can I?" You know what I'm
So
saying?
after we built this done, we're going to the mall, to Freehold
Yeah.
Mall. We're gonna open up in a mall.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
We're
that's
gonna
good.
start opening up in different malls and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Congrats,
So American
congrats,
Dream
that's
is gonna be
good.
one of the
Yeah.
places we were
He's-
looking
he's
at
been
spots
talking
over there.
about-
Oh, definitely. That mall is
Yeah,
huge.
and like we have like a higher end clientele here. We kind of cater to that experience,
Yeah.
right? Because it's an experience that people will pay
Yeah.
for that experience. Good work and an experience kind
Good
of
work,
will.
definitely. And experience is everything, and that's for
Absolutely.
me. I don't like anything. You know how sometimes I tell people like certain things, even on my financial advisor, like, well, you have to cut back on this. Not on this. I'm not cutting back on.
And it's so important to have that pushback,
Yeah,
right? Because
uh-huh.
self care is also really important
Yeah.
while you're growing a business. 100%.
Tax write off.
It depends on who your accountant is.
Tax write offs. You could tax write off your clothes and all that shit. Just let you know. Your makeup, all that.
Oh, see that?
You see?
Ooh, I didn't
That's what I'm
know.
saying. Yeah.
So
well.
schedule a photo shoot
Uh-huh.
and buy all the makeup that you need for that photo shoot.
Yes.
See,
Need a
that's the
photographer? I got you
thing.
over here.
Yo, you need
Really?
some like entrepreneur
Yeah,
tricks.
he does our media.
So that's the thing is I think it's very yourself around different people
Me
and other
too.
people who is, and that's the thing. I'm just so closed in that I don't have. Oh, I can just call it. I'm always searching for somebody who can be the photographer or who is the videographer or who's this or who's that. So I have to go out and search because I don't know that many people that is in the industry that is surrounded by me.
Right.
Not saying that they're not there.
Yeah.
It's
You have
just
to
that
find
I always try to do everything on my own.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be like, okay, well, I don't have an extra $1,000 to put here. Let me just do it myself.
Right. So,
You know?
so I had to learn, right? Because I like good things. I had to learn to have to cut back on that to be able to pay him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
genuinely? Like
Yeah.
when we were talking about hiring him, I said to my husband, I was like, well, I'm not getting paid
Her
this
pay
year.
is his pay.
It's his. So I took my pay and I was like, here you go. Because what he does is going to make me more money.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I had
It's
to take that
sacrifices.
loss.
It's just temporary
I had to take
sacrifices.
that personal loss, right? For the bigger picture. He's made me more money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just by him doing his job, I wasn't going to do his job.
Right.
I just could do
And
my
I was
job.
the one doing it, but it took away from me sitting there and making
Making
money.
his
Doing what
money.
you had to do.
You know what I mean? So I definitely had to. I didn't start paying myself till this year.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
because I needed to pay you to do this, and my time was more valuable than the dollar, right?
Yeah.
So if I taught you how to do that, and you freed up 4 hours of mine,
Yeah.
and I could be home doing what I need to be doing for my kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had to kind of like give and take a lot,
Yeah.
and until.
You're gonna go through a lot of sacrifices. in
It's
your
definitely a
business.
lot of sacrifices. I even do that now with my
And a lot
my
of
kids.
L's. You know what I mean?
We took a lot of
We
L's.
took a
Oh,
lot
you
of
want
L's.
to take some L's.
We took
Yeah.
a lot of
Definitely
L's.
take some
It's just
L's.
what it is, you know.
If you don't have L's, yo, you're just a business owner. You're not an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite part about what you do?
My favorite, I'm gonna be honest, it's the people because I get to experience them. I feel like sometimes I'm like, I'm in the wrong business. I should have been a therapist or something because people
Now you're in the
comes
business with dealing with people, right?
dealing with people, and
Yeah.
everyone has a story.
And everybody's different.
You know, everybody has a story, and it's just like when it comes in to tell me that story. You know,
It's funny because I said
sorry,
that.
Mari.
I said that about me and tattooing. I'm like, I feel like I'm a therapist. I've been doing it for 15 years, sitting in front of people, and I heard so many stories that I could genuinely like help people out based on the stories that I've heard and the solutions that I've heard. I'm
Yep.
like, you know what? You should try this.
Yeah.
But it also makes me into a wiser person because I don't commit those mistakes that I've heard so many people
other
commit.
people commit.
And it's like it's a learning lesson too, like doing this thing.
Sometimes I take it home with me because I feel like that. Damn, I gotta help her.
So
or
that's
do
why I
this.
don't like doing it, right? That's why I don't like that one-on-one interaction with someone for a long time because I am going to. If you cry, I'm gonna cry with you.
You're gonna be invested.
Do you know what
You're
I'm
gonna be invested,
saying?
yeah.
And then I'm carrying all that energy, and so he's good about not giving a shit. He'll take it all in and he'll push it all
I
out.
just be like, man, that
and
sucks.
but for me, I'm immediately like I'm a problem solver. So
Yeah.
if you have a problem, then I want to give you advice to kind of help you solve that problem.
Right.
It's not my place.
Right.
So it's an energy thing for me.
It's
Yeah.
definitely energy. You know, I always say it's about energy.
Yeah.
So when people come in, we talk. You know, I always offer like refreshments and stuff like that. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel comfortable so
Dope,
you can
dope.
tell me, you know, how you feeling or what's going on. And I deal with everybody. You know, different cultures. I don't
Right.
just cater to just one.
Right.
You know, so everyone comes in and everyone has a story. And most of them, I get to tell my story to them.
That's dope.
And to help a lot of the younger generation as far as like helping them move forward. But then
Right.
again, I'm still trying to help myself as I'm trying to help them. So I felt at one point that I was better at creating things for other people
And for yourself.
and not putting it in and not implementing myself. Because I'd be like, you got to do this. You need to do that. You have to
Have
do
you
this.
thought of becoming like a life coach?
I did. And my boyfriend always said that. He said, you should be a coach. You should be a coach. You should be a coach.
You don't
And-
know if because like for him, right? So he started in tattooing, and when I met him, he was doing music, but he was tattooing and doing music, right? And he got really good at tattooing, so that really took off. But like he's a musician, he does music, and
But
so tattooing has
she
been
didn't
able.
meet me like doing music because it's not like that's what I did. It was just like my boys like, yo, you want to hop on the track, and I did that. It
You
wasn't
hopped on
like
the track, you performed, you were on stage, and it was You did music.
Yeah.
But I go through the whole.
That's music.
Music,
You were recording and shooting
Yeah,
videos.
but it wasn't like a
and-
thing that I sat there and do every week.
Right.
It
wasn't that.
wasn't your passion.
That
that
shit-
he knew. He didn't know, right? Because now
I'm an
it
artist.
comes right. So now music
That's-
comes so naturally to him, and he's been able to fund his music through his tattooing. So you don't know if you waxing is just opening up that avenue.
Stepping stool.
For you to be
This is
doing
maybe
something
not what you're
else.
set out to
I
do.
never
You know
even
what I
thought
This
mean?
is
about
your
it
stepping
that
stone.
way.
This is your first step.
So if you find that what you're loving the most about what you do isn't the actual action of waxing, but the experience that you're giving people or the gratification you get from watching them grow in that
And
way,
helping other people,
and maybe
yeah.
your calling is
It's
to
something
like
different. Yep.
coach.
Yeah,
you know?
never.
And that's gonna fund your next
That's
venture.
gonna find my next venture. I always thought about. You know how sometimes the men always think that you're not listening to them.
Yeah, but you do. Yeah,
I do. I'd be listening. I'm like, yeah, but see, people actually like. I will
She don't be
research
listening.
stuff and books
She
and
don't
things
listen.
like that. I'm like, here, read this book. Read this. What you have to do if you want to start funding your business. And then I'd be like, how did I give this person all this information and then I'm not even doing it? So it's that.
sometimes
something-
it's easier to teach than to do.
True.
You
True.
know what I mean?
Definitely.
But as you
Definitely.
teach, you learn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
definitely do.
So
Definitely
and then
do.
it sticks with you. So the things that you're saying, like that you don't do, once you tell somebody to do it, then you see, you look at yourself like, how come I'm not doing it?
Yeah.
And then, these are the things that, in order for you to start doing it, you have to almost tell somebody to do it too. It's so crazy the way it works.
And that's good how
happens
the
to me.
universe works because I didn't know about you guys.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
it all came through social media. And then when y'all had your post up there, your marketing post, I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go on a podcast. If I wouldn't have came here today, because at first I was like, no, I'm not. I'm afraid. I don't know who they are. I don't know. It's so hard for me to kind of like open up
Right,
sometimes. And it's just like, what if they don't like me? Like, what if they this
It
and
don't
that?
matter.
I know, but in our heads, we try to say we don't care what other people
Yeah.
think, but
Yeah.
you really do be caring what other people
I'm
think.
telling you, like, people are their worst, like, enemy because
Said
it's
that to
like,
me all the time.
I said that, it's like, how do you implement things in your head that doesn't even exist?
Right.
Like her shit's saying like, are you not nervous? Are you not stressed out? I'm like, why would I even put that in my head? It doesn't even
So
exist.
to me, the way that my head
That's
thinks
just a
is
chemical imbalance for you to start creating emotions behind it, and then emotions prevent you from doing things.
1000%.
By me just sitting here, y'all don't even know how much y'all just motivated me.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
You know,
awesome.
just by coming here, sitting here, and having a conversation. And I don't
Yeah.
even know you guys.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, all right. So when I came in today, I was like, I'm gonna sit down. We're gonna talk. We're gonna laugh. Whatever.
Because we're
But
genuine
I was
people. We're
still-
very like
Yeah.
fucking.
You are genuine.
Yeah,
I feel like I've known y'all already
Right?
for
Yeah.
a minute
Yeah.
and just met you guys. But really, I really do like how everything, how you are a team, how you work
Yeah.
with other people, how your business is
Thank you.
growing.
Oh, thank you.
I do wish y'all much
Oh,
success.
Thank
likewise.
you. Let's
Yeah.
go. Where's that? Hit that button, yo. Warning.
I can see this. You know, you guys
Yeah.
growing
Yeah, yeah.
definitely,
Thank
and
you.
I do think that it is when it comes back to looks and everything. Like, you're very beautiful. By
Thank
the
you.
way.
Likewise.
So it's just like you need to have a certain look for things. You have to have a certain attitude.
You need to
know.
be bougie, yo. That's it. I'm sorry, but that
You
shit.
do.
People
I
be
think
like,
it's bougie. I think it's investing in yourself.
that's
is.
fucking
You know what
bougie,
I
yo.
mean?
You need to
we
be
had
bougie,
we had a
right?
comment on one of our Instagram reels. I think it was the two of you guys. It was like the number one owner's number one tattoo shop and the number one bougiest people.
Yeah, you have to be. There's standards. There's levels to this shit, yo.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm
that-
sorry.
I think that also opens doors of opportunity that if I don't do my fucking hair, I look a hot
Yeah,
mess.
yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna
I mean,
take
I
me
don't know.
seriously.
But it does
You know what I'm
make
saying?
people. It does motivate people. Like, I tell people, even my girl, I tell her, listen, come dress. You know, you need to come.
Look beautiful.
Look,
That's
you
it.
can't just sit at the front desk and be looking any old type of way because you're the first person someone is going to see.
And that was so important for us. So when we met Megan, my front end girl,
Mm-hmm.
she was in a ponytail and she used to teach karate constantly in sweatpants, like no makeup, nothing. And through influence, man, things change, you know? Things
Mm-hmm. It does.
change.
It does.
So as she started to see how important it was for me to be dressed up every day and for me to like, you gotta smell good, man.
You're a
You know what I mean?
presentation.
Like,
You are a presentation of your own
right?
business.
So you are
when
that
you're out there,
first
too.
point of contact. You have to. It has to be something that people look forward to seeing. Not like, this girl didn't even like wash her face this morning. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And people
fucking
don't.
matters.
You really don't know how many people you motivate without motivating them. You know, like if I came here every day and seen you dressed and makeup, I said, I can't go in there like that. I gotta have my hair done. I gotta have my makeup done.
And it sets a standard.
Yeah.
It sets a standard. And I think that when you set that standard for yourself, it sets a standard for your
Right.
business. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Before we hop into the current events, I didn't ask this on the last 2 episodes. A little upset with myself. If you could hop on your own timeline, have a conversation with yourself, where would you go, and what would that conversation be?
If I could hop on
What
my own
age?
time,
What age?
what age?
What age?
Yeah.
Will
That's
I
very
be,
important.
What age will I, if I was to hop on my timeline?
Yeah.
Oh, the age bracket.
Yeah, like that age bracket.
I would definitely do. I won't. I'm gonna say more of my. I'm 40 years old.
Okay.
I don't know. So I will probably be around my age bracket, only because a lot of us are so stuck on our ways in old school. The younger generation, they is coming up. They're a little hard headed, but they have so much more resources, I feel, than we did when we was coming up. Like I feel like to a point it's a little bit easier for them to make it and to grow than it was. I would have never did this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in this position that I am now back then.
And you know what's the difference that they have now is that they're more freeing in their
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah.
They don't have that fear aspect that people have.
They're
Like, what if it
out
doesn't
there.
work? They just be
Yeah,
like, they
yeah.
do it, and if it work, it
Fuck
work,
it,
and
yeah.
not,
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's just what it
Yeah.
is.
So it'll probably be towards, because I even now, like my sister, she'd be like, I never want to be an entrepreneur. Like I'm going to work, because she's so content and comfortable knowing that she knows I'm getting a check, I'm getting benefits. I don't have to
That's
take
such a
this
cap.
home. Yeah, it's
You
a
know
cap
what
for
I mean?
her.
Yeah.
But she's so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
She said, I don't want to not know if I'm not getting paid or if I can't pay myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to put in all that work. You work more hours than I do, and I know I'm coming home to this amount of money.
But it's yours. You know what I mean?
You
Like
need to be a risk taker,
the day.
yo.
Look, you know when I realized that this corporate thing wasn't for me, I went to school. I was a young mom. Like the corporate environment, it was like the goal when I was growing up, right? And so I reached that goal, and I was moving up in my company. And I remember like my company was laying people off, and my boss said to me like, "Oh, you're essential. Don't worry about it. Like you ain't going nowhere." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." And then right before Thanksgiving, right, I used to work very closely with the VP in Tampa, and he called me and he was like, "I just got laid off." This man gave 25 years of his life to this company, and right before Thanksgiving, they fired him. That's when I was like, you know what? I think I'm
Okay,
gonna take you up on
like
your
I
offer.
said, I quit Merrill Lynch at 22, and I saw the corporate industry wasn't for me. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit, bro. I'm too much of a colorful person to be in a gray world and be stuck in these fucking cubicles and shit like a robot.
So he definitely opened my eyes to. I knew
I'm a
I
risk
could-
taker, yo.
I knew I could make money, right? I come from a background of entrepreneurs, so I knew that was eventually going to be what I wanted to do. I just wasn't sure if I was ready to take that leap.
So
And when I
it was
saw
a
that,
convincing game,
I
because it was like my whole thing behind me telling her to quit. It was like I did it, and it's worked for me. I made it work, but it's working for me. It's hard, but it made it work. I'm like, you could do it. She's more about security. I need
I have
to be
children.
secured.
Yeah.
So me being in Merrill Lynch, well, I had a secure job. I used to make stupid money from the age I was 19 to like 22. To decide like to quit in one day and then start tattooing like within that same week. I went from something that was secure for me to something I had to secure for myself. And I didn't even know how to secure anything in the tattoo industry. I didn't even know how to tattoo. So it was.
You just knew you wanted to do it.
Yeah, but I wasn't scared. I just fucking did it, and now look, 15 years deep, and it's
I
been
think
work.
as
So
women too, we have these fears in the
Yeah,
back of our
it is.
heads. You know what I'm
It's the
saying?
fear.
And I think it
don't
comes with being
exist.
a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't
With that like that wanting to achieve and that wanting to do better for your children. I feel like
Because
it's
as
not
women,
even-
we wear so many hats.
Absolutely. And
That's
so
why.
like yeah, you know, dads are really important, but for me it was like I need to make sure that my child has food. You know what I mean? That's
need to
cool,
make sure
but
that
I
they
need
gon-
to make sure that my child has health care. I need to make sure. So all these things definitely like hold us back.
So what do you do when you come from a family who's not entrepreneurs? I don't have my family is very small, especially on my mother's side, but everyone was so work. We come from a family of nurses and things like that and working in a hospital. So it's like work. So it's to the point now, well, it was to the point where I was like, oh, I need a backup plan. So let me go back to school and get this
No
together.
backup plan.
Your
So
backup
you
plan
gotta
already
make it
says
work.
your backup plan already says that your first plan failed.
Yeah, it gives you
no
a way out.
backup
It should
plan.
only be plan A. There is no
That's
plan
it.
B.
That's it.
Plan A
Like,
will work.
I tattooed my hand as soon as I quit my job because I was like, I have to make
Yeah.
this work.
Once you-
Yeah.
I know that this is gonna close the door to that.
Yeah.
I can never look back.
And that's what I said. I said, you know, if I get certain, like sleeves, I love sleeves. And then I was like, you know what? If I do this, I know I'm not going into corporate because I know no one wants to hire someone like that. They already think like if you have tattoos or you're a bad girl, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
My father always be like, you need to stop getting these tattoos because you're not going to get married. But like, my husband is going to be drowned in tattoos.
Yeah, like, it don't.
So what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it's not like,
it's a lifestyle. It's different.
Yeah, it's just different. So he never understood where I was coming from when I said, like, even my oldest daughter, once she got into the Air Force, she came out tattooed, legs, arms.
So in your family, there's not a lot of entrepreneurs.
No.
So you're
his
the first
family
one
either, right?
So you're the
in
first
my
one.
family,
So
there's
now,
a lot of
so now
entrepreneurs.
you're changing the generation. You're the one that started the entrepreneur thing. So now everybody has to continue it after you. You know what I mean?
So you've opened
you were
that
change.
avenue for your generation and for like your grandkids, right? Because what grandma do? Oh, grandma had her own. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for him, he did that in his family. Like his family, they work. You know, they're working. They're hardworking people.
They believe in you. You work hard. That shit is a lie. You work hard, you die hard.
Yeah,
That's it, you know what I mean?
in my family, like my uncles, my sisters, like everybody kind of
They had their own business.
did their own thing, whether it be real estate or insurance or whatever they did, they kind of like did on their own. So it was easier for me to see his vision because they already opened that door for me. You know what I mean?
So you had the structure life already.
I did.
And then just you two coming together.
I did.
Just made it,
Yeah.
That structure life.
Yeah.
I just had the mindset that I know that I don't want to work for nobody. But again, it's
You still have to work with people, though.
You have to work with
You
people.
get what I'm saying?
I didn't want to
That's
work for
just-
nobody, but I had to
He didn't want to
with
work with
people.
nobody. You remember when you were in Union City and you were like, I don't want to train nobody. I'm going to do this on my
Yo,
own.
it was, listen, because I used to work in like 7, 8 shops, and I used to manage like 3 of them. And just from like seeing how sketchy artists are, the conniving shit, like people
deal with
there's
that.
a lot of shit that I'm like, okay, I don't want to deal with any artist. I'm like, it's fucking scary. But the solution that we came up with, which is training people from the beginning before they become artists, like you get to pre-select personalities.
Right.
It's like, you know what,
Character.
this personality fits you as a tattoo artist. We could fuck with you with this. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's hire you. Let's teach you what we know, and then we already like your personality. So I'm pretty sure that you plus this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Now that works. Now it's hard for us to hire somebody from another business because they have bad traits, bad habits. And it's like, and then we don't do none of that shit here. So then we look like we're too bougie or too
they
high
don't
level.
wanna-
But it's like, no, there's a right way of doing things and there's a wrong way of doing
There's
things.
nothing wrong with being high level and bougie.